Welcome back to Operations with Void. I'm your host, Forgotten Void. This week we will be running the Cossack Black. I picked up in the Black Friday sale. Someone mentioned I didn't have enough British destroyers, and this is a very good British premium for pretty cheap during the Black Friday sale. It's really good for competitive. It's decent, I found in Ops. I think maybe the Lightning might be better because it has more torpedoes, but with the fast reload, 60 seconds or so for the torpedoes, it's still pretty good as a hybrid destroyer. A little bit, these are the skills I'm running. The torpedo, fill the tubes, brings it down to 60 seconds. After that, I don't have Adrenaline Rush. Will probably pick up Adrenaline Rush next. So yeah, I'll probably pick up Adrenaline Rush next, and then I don't know what I'd get for my next two. Probably Priority Target, just so I can open water gunboat comfortably. But yeah, we have Inertia Fuse because it is more on the gunboat, and this brings us to armor penetration of 25 millimeters, which you need for a lot of cruisers, especially the Japanese ones. Which there are a lot of Japanese cruisers in enemy ops. Anyways, so those are the skills. Equipment we have. We have depth charges just because that's the only one I want to take for that one. There's really no good option for this one, so why doesn't well have something against subs when I play PvP. We have concealment that brings us down to 5.5 kilometers with this skill. This is a hybrid, so that's why we have aiming systems instead of the torpedo mod. We have the engine boost, the engine room protection for it's actually more for the repair time than it is for the incapacitation protection, but it helps with that as well. And then the main armaments, because there are no secondaries, and you don't, no one takes this when you have Juliet Charlie. So that's that. And we're going to go into Hermes. This is a little bit different than my normal one because normally I'm just going in by myself. This is a division, so you get to see what a division does when they work together to run for an op. And you can see kind of the advantage of playing together with people you like to play with and who can do well. Anyways, with that, we'll hop into battle. So as you can see here, this is a 6-man division with one person, Dirty Shorts, as with us as a random pickup. So it's a 6-man division. So we're in a Cossack. Our AA is pretty meh. Like meh is the overstatement of it. It's on Japanese levels of pretty bad. So we are effectively a gunboat with a little bit of torpedoes, and that is our role, to support the allies. Now, I was a little bit late start because I'm looking at my phone, playing a game or whatnot, but that's just me. Or maybe I was off at the toilet. I can't remember. Those are things I do, because in between and waiting for the loading, it takes time. Anyways, since our A is pretty bad, there's no point in us going left to shoot down the planes, especially when we have an Enterprise who drop down the fighters. Enterprise is really, really good at Hermes, specifically because it has the 10-plane fighter squadron and can pretty much delete most enemy squads. And because that stall there, he doesn't do anything else but focus on shooting down planes. That is his thing. That is what he likes to do. So he turns from damage farming to a very much a team player to allow everybody else to damage farm. And he likes to do that. So we have someone who's doing team playing, so we don't really have to worry about planes. We have a mines on the team, an anchorage on the team, so we have our heavy cruiser and light cruiser filled out. And then we have just random ships, which is Wacky and the Rook. Good ship, just not much armor. Hawks in his Karnabati, he's grinding it. it, it's it's pretty bad. I still have to grow through that grind. It's pretty bad. So I'm not really going about shooting because very much because I'm on the far right. So as soon as the ships on the right spawn, they are going to be shooting at me. Plus, we reload faster than our shells travel that distance, so it's hard to lead. And by the time we get the lead for a ship, it's down. I'm going to try throwing some torpedoes out. And I'm not shooting here again because, as you can see, as I mentioned, I am now the target of all of them because I'm in front. And that's how these bots work. They target the closest ship they can see. And you don't want to be too close to some ships, especially when the battleships appear, because if you're in cruiser and you're next to a battleship, and even though you can't be spotted, their shells can drift into your lane. I've been outright deleted by a Gneisenau shooting at a battleship next to me. Gneisenau or whatever. One of the German battleships was shooting at the ship, the battleship next to me. I was in Albemarle. First game in it. And boom. Full to 0. And so you see, we're using the island cover so that only one ship at a time could shoot at us. In fact, we were going to use it so that only we could shoot at the York, but it couldn't shoot at us. You see, the focus fire, they're gone pretty quickly. So you go from one target to the next, and they are deleted. And now we just wait for the battleships to spawn. Any minute now. We're actually going to the point in the center of Echo 9 to get at the tip to be so we can throw torpedoes at ships. And I don't mind shooting here because not only are we semi-protected from line of sight, actually I think we're fully protected because we're a small destroyer. Get a little bit of damage, try and set some fires. We're moving up to be able to throw some torpedoes out. And since we're far away from the storm, we have the standard detection rating. And so here I am checking the torpedo angles before throwing them all out, seeing if I could get any on the Gneisenau and Scharnhorst, but I couldn't, so I went ahead and threw them all at the Bayer and the Tirpitz. Because in this case, if they miss the Bayer, and they're going to hit the Tirpitz. And I'm going to focus on the Gneisenau because he's close by, and he's dead. And see, we hit the Tirpitz with the ship's torpedoes aimed at the Bayern. And we still got a couple on the Bayern as well. And I believe we're getting the flooding damage. And this is, if you see those torpedoes, those are, I don't know who those are from. But if you notice, since they're firing from way back, I believe those are actually Anchorage. They didn't manage to make it in time for anything. And here we are, since, let's see, looking at our health, I think it's not worth it to go for the heal. Just keep it for the adrenaline rush, and just continue on in. By going this way, not only am I not going to be spotted by the planes, because I'm not going to go near them, I can go ahead and get spotting on the destroyers and the battleship, since they actually spawn in quite early. They just don't have the range to shoot at everybody who are behind the rock. Especially since I know that the planes aren't an issue, because we have Anchorage, which has American AA, and Stahl in his Enterprise, which has American carrier AA, plus some of the best fighters. The only fighters that can contend with those are the ones in the burn. And since this is a tier 8 carrier, it has faster planes with faster reaction time, and planes do the same amount of damage. But yeah, they have faster planes with faster reaction time. And see, there's the Bayern. I believe this might be when it spawns in. And you see I threw a widespread out there. That's because I don't really know which way it's going to... I guess it's not a widespread, it's a narrow spread. But for British destroyers, it's a widespread. And there's the destroyers way out in front. So we're going to go here, and we're going to put the island in between us and the enemy. And here's where I noticed that the island isn't really good covering. So I'm thinking maybe I'll be up this way. And we get a torpedo hit on the Bayern, which apparently has already DCP'd, used its damage control party. And so we get a flood, and the flood sticks, so more damage. Although now we're backing up because I see the destroyers are all headed for me. Which may or may not make it easier, harder for the Allies to take care of them. But so that's another thing. The destroyers, they lock on to whoever is closest and go towards them. So if you're used to them going a certain way and they suddenly go somewhere else that's not what you're used to, it's because there is someone closer that's not in a position where most people go. Like, most people don't go straight behind this rock. But I went straight behind the rock. So that's why the destroyers went this way. See, I'm raising my sight to try and gain an advantage. Some people press the M key to do this, but I just do it the old-fashioned way. By looking up a little bit and then going back down. I actually played War Thunder, the Navy side of War Thunder recently. And they actually have like a targeting circle. So you don't have to keep doing this. It kind of takes a little bit of skill out of it. I mean, it's the targeting circle refreshes every like 15 seconds and it doesn't continue. But so it's not easy aim. But warships used to, like, there used to be mods for this, and those were banned, so that you actually have to lead yourself, and that adds a little bit of skill to warships. Oh, torpedoes. And I did not dodge. Oh well, more adrenaline rush. But anyways, I actually don't recommend Let's say I don't recommend War Thunder because the economy is absolutely terrible. Like, it's to the point where you're just paying to play the game. Terrible, worse than Gold Rounds and World of Tanks. So that's why I still recommend World of Warships over War Thunder because even with PVE you can make money. Like I mean, don't take super ships out into uh, don't take super ships out into PVE because that is how you lose money. But if you take any kind of ship out tier 10 and below into asymmetric or tier 8 through 6, you're going to make money. So you're not losing money while playing, whereas if you play War Thunder, you're pretty much losing money when you're playing no matter what. I don't remember who took down the carrier that low, but because it came towards us, we were lucky enough that it came towards us, and someone got a good hit in, we were able to take it out. So the carrier is very much a luck base, but the more ships you have out front, the easier it is. Oh, that's right. Psalm took his anchorage down south, and when someone goes down south, it usually pushes the carrier towards the rest of the group, and that allows players to it makes it easier to take out the carrier. Now we missed our torpedoes here, but we were throwing our torpedoes because these three destroyers, you do not kill them, that's an automatic failure, and so that's why everybody focused on those destroyers very, very much. And turning assist. Since this ship, the AI battleship suddenly goes on a suicidal run towards the enemy, it makes it harder to keep all battleships alive when the AI battleships do this. So I have my Hydra running just in case someone decides to throw torpedoes this way. And this is what happens when you go in front of Alsace. It pushes you out of the way, or you become a super submarine for a little bit. So just so you know, if you block the Rouen, nothing happens now. It pushes you out of the way. It used to be that you would push Rouen or it would get stuck and people failed, but because of that, they made Rouen have super horsepower or super torque. And so as you see, we didn't really, like, I personally just did okay because the Cossack being a gunboat is very much an assisting role. Like, you're very much assisting, and so your mines, the mines and the anchorage and the rook are going to be doing a lot more damage. The Enterprise, I'm surprised he did so well, but that's probably mostly because he got all the plane damage. So much plane damage in that run because he was focusing on that. The Kunabari with the sap, it actually can work like a gunboat, and it doesn't have as floaty shells, especially with the lower range. And then you have the worst DPM in our group, so it's not surprising. Like, this is not the best one for the marker, and then when you have a mines on the team taking all the damage, run by a really good player, everybody else is just fighting for scraps. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this example of a very good I have a team that is doing their best to work together while fighting for damage, going through and taking out Hermes and breezing through it. Honestly, I really wasn't doing that much in this game because everybody here is just doing so much. For us, when we have a division of 6 or more, it doesn't become a fight to win. It becomes competitive damage farming. Because we know, with the occasional Narai that we fail, we pretty much know we're going to win, so it's a fight to see who gets the most damage. And as you see, most of my damage were on a couple of Bayard, and so that's why it's not actually worth that much. If I had gone for more destroyers and cruisers and had the same amount of damage, I probably would have had more, been higher up on the scoreboard. And I wasn't running premium, but even with just green boosters, I still made a couple 100K. I believe I was running green boosters. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead, thumbs down. If you have if you have something you want to see, like this one was, someone was mentioning I didn't have enough British destroyers or any British destroyers on my videos, go ahead, shout it out. I'll try and put into the schedule. If you want a specific op played in a specific way, or you want to give me a challenge, go ahead. I've done one of those. Like there was one where someone wanted me to play the Canary. Post that right here. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be glad to do whatever. Otherwise, it's going to be me running ships that I like to run. I hope to see you again next week. Have a good one.